What does it truly take to control a nation's economy? What does that power actually look like in the real world? For Mexico's 10 wealthiest families, it looks like a combined fortune of nearly $150 billion. To put that number in perspective, it's a sum that rivals the annual economic output of entire countries. This isn't just money in a bank account. It is a force that shapes a nation. These dynasties, these enduring legacies of wealth and power, command vast empires that stretch across just about every single industry you can possibly think of. Consider the very fabric of daily life in Mexico. The phone you hold in your hand likely runs on a network controlled by one of these families. The beer you might enjoy at the end of a long day, its profits flow back to a dynasty that has been mastering its craft for centuries. Even the foundational elements of the country, the airports that serve as gateways to the world, the mines that pull wealth from the earth, the very roads and rails that move goods and people, are deeply intertwined with the fortunes of these few. Their influence is not just measurable in dollars and cents. It is felt in the culture, in the politics, and in the daily routines of millions. Their wealth is, without exaggeration, staggering, and their stories are nothing short of fascinating. From the man who practically owns Mexico's entire telecommunications network to the intensely secretive dynasty behind the world's most popular beer, we are counting down the 10 richest families in Mexico. Prepare to see who comes out on top. Kicking off our list at number 10 is a man who has mastered the art of commanding the very skies over southeastern Mexico, Fernando Chico Pardo. His family oversees a formidable net worth of approximately $3.3 billion. Pardo's story is a classic, almost textbook tale of making incredibly smart moves at just the right time and of forging alliances with some of the most powerful people in the nation. His journey into the stratosphere of wealth began with a bold move. At the remarkably young age of just 27, he started his own brokerage firm, a venture that showcased his early ambition and financial acumen. It didn't take long for his burgeoning success to catch the eye of the man who would later become our list's undisputed number one, the legendary Carlos Slim. In a pivotal moment, Slim's financial group astutely scooped up the young Pardo's firm. This wasn't just an acquisition, it was an initiation, launching Fernando Chico Pardo from the world of the successful into the elite big leagues of Mexican finance. However, his biggest and most defining power play was yet to come. It arrived when he strategically became the controlling shareholder of Grupo Aeroportuario del Sureste, more commonly known as ASUR. This single move solidified his place as a titan of industry. ASUR is not just any company. It runs a portfolio of 9 key airports in Mexico, a collection that includes the tourist powerhouses of Cancun and Cozumel. The company's reach even extends beyond Mexico's borders, managing the bustling Luis Muñoz Marin International Airport in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Let that sink in for a moment. Every time a tourist's plane touches down in the vacation paradise of Cancun, every time a traveler passes through the gates in Cozumel, the Chico Pardo family gets a significant piece of the action. But Pardo is far too shrewd to be a one-trick pony. He's not just about airports. Through his private equity fund, Promocap, he maintains a diverse and powerful portfolio with his hands in all sorts of Mexican companies. This strategy proves that a diversified playbook, spreading risk and opportunity across the board, is an essential key to not only entering the Billionaire Club, but staying there. At number 9, we encounter a figure shrouded in mystique, a man often referred to as the King of Steel, Rufino Vigil Gonzalez. His family commands a massive fortune of about $3.4 billion, forged in the furnaces of heavy industry. While many of the billionaires on our list are comfortable, even happy, to be in the public spotlight, Vigil Gonzalez is famously private. He stands in stark contrast to his more flamboyant peers, preferring to build his colossal steel empire from the quiet of the shadows. His company, Industrias CH, is an absolute powerhouse in steel production, not merely in Mexico, but with a commanding presence across all of North America, operating significant facilities in both the United States and Canada. The steel produced by his company forms the skeleton of countless buildings, bridges, and vehicles across the continent. The origins of this industrial giant were surprisingly humble. The company began its life as a simple hardware business back in 1934. For decades, it was a modest operation, but everything changed when Vigil took the helm in 1991. He didn't just want to run the business, he wanted to transform it. With a clear and aggressive vision, he began to remold it into a specialized steel giant. He achieved this astonishing transformation by making a series of incredibly smart and bold acquisitions. The most crucial of these was the 2001 purchase of Grupo Cimec. This single move was a game changer. And today, Grupo Cimec is the engine that drives the vast majority of his company's sales and profits. This calculated strategy of aggressive growth, of buying out competitors and modernizing operations, has clearly and undeniably paid off. It's a strategy that has forged the Vigil family's immense wealth in the very foundation of Mexico's industrial and construction sectors. Entering our list at number 8 is the patriarch of a famously low-key yet incredibly powerful dynasty, Antonio del Valle Ruiz. His family commands a net worth of roughly $3.5 billion. If one were to define del Valle Ruiz's career, it would be as a master of turning one valuable asset into an even bigger, more powerful empire. He started his career in the world of banking and demonstrated an almost preternatural ability to navigate economic turmoil. He skillfully guided his ventures through the nationalization of banks in the 1980s and, even more impressively, survived the devastating peso collapse in the 1990s that wiped out many of his peers. His absolute masterstroke was the strategic sale of his bank, Bital, to the global banking giant HSBC. But here is where his genius truly shines. Instead of simply cashing a check and retiring to a life of leisure, he negotiated a deal that gave him control of a portfolio of industrial assets. These assets became the solid bedrock upon which he would build his new empire. Today, he and his 6 children control Orbia, a global chemical giant. Orbia is a leading producer of PVC pipes, materials that are essential for construction and infrastructure projects around the world. But his influence also extends back into the world of finance that he knows so well, through his family's control of Grupo Financiero BX+. Their interests are consolidated under a powerful conglomerate called Grupo Caluz. The family has meticulously structured their operations, placing his children in key executive roles to ensure a smooth generational transfer of power. However, make no mistake about who is ultimately in charge. Antonio del Valle Ruiz holds the title of Honorary Chairman for Life, a designation that makes it crystal clear that even in his later years, he is still the one calling the most important strategic shots for the dynasty he built. Landing at the number 7 spot is the Carlos Hank Roan family, with a commanding net worth of around $4.4 billion. In Mexico, the Hank family name is one of the most powerful and, at times, controversial names in the intertwined worlds of big business and high-stakes politics. Carlos Hank Roan is the son of the late legendary Carlos Hank Gonzalez, a towering and controversial political figure who once held one of the most powerful posts in the country as the mayor of Mexico City. It should come as no surprise, then, that this dynasty's immense wealth is deeply and inextricably connected to the financial and political heart of the country. Their primary fortune stems from a massive, controlling stake in Banorte, which is not just any bank, but one of Mexico's largest and most systemically important financial institutions. Their influence over the flow of capital in Mexico is, therefore, immense. But they are far from being just bankers. Through their industrial conglomerate, Grupo Hermes, the family's interests spread out like a web into a vast array of sectors. They are major players in construction and infrastructure, often involved in large-scale government projects. They have significant holdings in the energy sector and even a network of car dealerships. The family's power was further cemented and consolidated through marriage in a move typical of powerful dynasties. Carlos Hank Ron's wife is the daughter of the founder of Gruma, the global tortilla and corn flour giant. Despite having faced intense political heat and navigating serious legal issues in the past, the Hank family empire remains a dominant and undeniable force in the Mexican economy. Coming in at number 6 is a family whose name is, for many around the world, basically synonymous with a good time: the Beckman family. With a net worth of about $4.6 billion, they are the undisputed royalty of the tequila world. They are the owners of the world's largest tequila producer, Jose Cuervo. For the Beckmans, this isn't just a business. It is a deeply ingrained family legacy, a cultural inheritance that has been passed down for over 250 years, spanning an incredible multiple generations. Their distillery, the famous La Rogena, which was founded all the way back in 1812, holds the prestigious title of being the oldest active distillery in all of Latin America. Walking through its grounds is like walking through history itself. The current face of this dynasty is Juan Domingo Beckman Legorreta, who serves as the company's chief executive officer. He took the reins from his father, continuing the family tradition while also ushering the company into a new era. It was he who led the historic public offering of the company in 2017, a move that unlocked enormous value. His sister, Karen Virginia Beckman, also holds a massive stake in the company, making her a billionaire in her own right and one of the wealthiest women in Mexico. The family has done a truly amazing job of marketing not just a spirit, but the very tradition and culture of tequila to a global audience, making the Jose Cuervo name a household staple in bars and homes everywhere. Proving their business savvy, they've even strategically branched out into other spirits, showing that they know exactly how to keep a centuries-old inheritance fresh, relevant, and more profitable than ever in the modern world. We are now officially halfway through our countdown of Mexico's 10 richest and most powerful families, and believe me, the fortunes we are about to see are only going to get bigger and more mind-boggling. These dynasties don't just control companies, they fundamentally shape culture. They influence politics, and they are woven into the very fabric of the daily lives of millions of people. If you are finding this deep dive into the world of extreme concentrated wealth as wild and fascinating as we do us a huge favor and hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the dramatic conclusion to our list. The top 5 fortunes are truly in a league of their own. Now, let's see who they are. Breaking into the exclusive top 5 is Mexico's richest woman, the formidable Maria Asuncion Aramburuzabala, with a massive net worth of about $6.3 billion. Known throughout the business world for her incredibly sharp instincts and her steely determination in a historically male-dominated landscape, she is widely regarded as one of the most powerful and influential investors in all of Latin America. Her story, at first glance, starts with an inheritance. Her family's significant stake in Grupo Modelo, the legendary brewery behind the world-famous and ubiquitous Corona beer. It was a brand that had become a global symbol of leisure and relaxation. But do not make the mistake of classifying this as a simple inheritance story. That would be a gross underestimation of her talent. The pivotal moment came with the colossal $20 billion sale of Grupo Modelo to the global beverage titan Anheuser-Busch InBev. While many heirs might have simply cashed out and retired to a life of unimaginable luxury, Aramburuzabala did the opposite. She took her share of the fortune and, with immense ambition, decided to multiply it. She accomplished this by founding Tresalia Capital, a private equity and venture capital firm. The name Tresalia, which comes from the Spanish for 3 allies, was a nod to her mother and sister, but the vision was all her own. Through Tresalia, she has made a series of brilliant and diverse investments in everything from cutting-edge tech startups and prime real estate to the ever-important telecommunications sector. In doing so, she has proven herself to be a master at taking a legacy fortune and making it definitively her own, dramatically growing her wealth far beyond what she inherited and cementing her reputation as a true powerhouse investor. At number 4, we find a true old money dynasty, the Billionaire family, who preside over a colossal net worth of around $8 billion. Their sprawling empire, organized under the umbrella of Grupo BAL, is a highly diversified giant with deep historic roots in some of Mexico's most essential and foundational industries. The family's vast wealth was originally built by the late patriarch, the legendary businessman Alberto Ballester. Following his passing, the mantle of leadership and the stewardship of this immense fortune are now in the hands of his heir, Alejandro. The absolute crown jewels of the Ballester family portfolio are found deep within the earth. They control Peñoles, one of the world's top silver producers, a metal intrinsically linked to the history and identity of Mexico itself. They also control Fresnillo, another massive precious metals company. Their dominion over these resources gives them a powerful position in the global commodities market. But the family's reach doesn't stop there. Their empire extends into the world of high-end luxury. If you've ever shopped at the fancy, iconic El Palacio de Hierro department stores, you have put money directly into the Ballester's pockets. Their empire also includes a huge presence in the insurance industry with Grupo Nacional Provincial, and in finance through retirement funds, managing the savings of millions of Mexican workers. Beyond business, the family is also well known for its major philanthropic work, especially in the field of education, as they provide significant support for the prestigious ITAM University, an elite institution their own family helped to establish, further cementing their social and cultural influence. Snagging the number 3 spot on our list is one of Mexico's most flamboyant, outspoken, and often controversial billionaires, Ricardo Salinas Pliego. His family's fortune is estimated to be around a massive $13.4 billion. Salinas Pliego is the chairman of Grupo Salinas, a conglomerate that perfectly reflects his aggressive, risk-taking and headline-grabbing style. He built his empire by targeting 2 specific sectors that touch the daily lives of nearly every single Mexican: mass media and consumer retail. He is, most famously, the man behind TV Azteca. In a move that shook the establishment, he acquired the network and broke the decades-long television monopoly in Mexico. This didn't just create a business competitor, it fundamentally altered the media landscape, changing what people watched and how they received their information. His other major business is Grupo Electra, a ubiquitous retail chain that sells everything from motorcycles to mattresses. But the genius of Electra is its integration with his financial services arm, Banco Azteca, which specifically caters to lower-income consumers, offering credit and banking services to a population often overlooked by traditional banks. Salinas Pliego is famous for his enormous public presence, frequently using social media platforms to broadcast his strong opinions on business and politics. He is equally famous for his lavish lifestyle, which reportedly includes a super yacht valued at over $100 million. While his fortune has seen dramatic ups and downs, and his aggressive business methods have frequently attracted controversy and criticism, his powerful grip on Mexico's media and consumer finance sectors is absolutely undeniable. Our runner-up for the wealthiest individual in all of Mexico is the incredibly secretive and supremely powerful Germán Larrea Mota Velasco. He and his family command a stunning net worth of $27.9 billion. Larrea is often referred to as Mexico's most mysterious billionaire, and for good reason. He almost never appears in public, rarely has his picture taken, and virtually never gives interviews, creating an aura of untouchable power. He is the CEO of Grupo Mexico, the country's largest and most dominant mining corporation. This isn't just a Mexican powerhouse, it is one of the biggest and most important copper producers on the entire planet. His vast empire was built on the world's insatiable, unending appetite for minerals, particularly copper, which is a vital component in everything from electronics to construction. Grupo Mexico's operations stretch from the deserts of Sonora to the mountains of Peru and beyond, giving him a truly global reach. But Larrea's genius lies in his control of not just resources, but also logistics. Beyond the mines, Grupo Mexico also controls a massive transportation and infrastructure division, which owns the largest and most extensive railroad company in the country. This vertical integration is a masterstroke of strategy. It gives the Larrea family a staggering level of economic power. They dig the resources out of the ground, and then they control the primary means to transport those resources to market. However, that immense power hasn't come without a significant cost to his reputation. The company's vast mining operations have often faced heavy criticism and major protests over serious environmental and labor-related issues. A stark reminder of the controversies that can accompany such colossal industrial wealth. And now we arrive at number 1. At the absolute pinnacle of wealth and power in Mexico, with a fortune so massive it's almost hard to wrap your head around, is Carlos Slim Helú and his family. With a net worth that hovers around an astronomical $100 billion, he's not just the richest man in Mexico, he is the richest man in all of Latin America. For a period of time, he even held the title of the richest person on earth, a testament to his global business prowess. There is a common saying in Mexico that it's impossible for a citizen to go a single day without putting money in Carlos Slim's pocket. And when you look at the sheer breadth of his empire, you realize that's not much of an exaggeration at all. His sprawling conglomerate, Grupo Carso, is simply everywhere. His personal wealth absolutely exploded in the 1990s during a wave of privatizations in Mexico, when he strategically acquired the state-owned telephone company, Telmex. From that single acquisition, he built a telecommunications empire. Today, his company América Móvil is a titan of the industry, dominating the market in Mexico and stretching its influence across the entire continent. And that is just the start. His interests also span the retail sector with the iconic Sanborns department stores, a cultural institution in their own right. He is a giant in finance with his bank, Inbursa. He is a major player in construction, in energy, and even in mining, competing with the other titans on this list. His influence extends far beyond Mexico's borders. He owns significant real estate in major global cities and was once a major shareholder in the New York Times. While the near-monopolistic control he has in some sectors has drawn significant criticism over the years, his personal journey, from a young boy learning the principles of business from his immigrant father, to building a global empire that touches nearly every facet of modern life, is the ultimate story of Mexican capitalism. From the very ground beneath our feet, mined for its precious metals, to the skies above managed by airport consortiums, from the television shows we watch to the networks we use to connect with one another, the 10 families on this list hold an almost unbelievable amount of power. Their combined wealth, a figure in the hundreds of billions, is a testament to generations of relentless ambition, sharp, often brilliant strategy, and at times very serious controversy. Their stories are the stories of modern Mexico. At the very top, Carlos Slim remains in a league of his own, a global business titan whose influence is so deeply woven into the fabric of the nation that it's hard to imagine one without the other. The fact that so much wealth and so much economic power is concentrated in so few hands continues to be the single most defining characteristic of the nation's economy, shaping its opportunities and its challenges. The gap between these 10 families and the average citizen is a reality that fuels debate and defines political life. What do you think about these billionaire dynasties and the power they wield? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into the world of the ultra-rich and the forces that shape our world, Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Thanks for watching.